welcome to my 625 square foot apartment in DC. I'm Sylvia and welcome to a tour of my 620 square foot condo apartment that I recently renovated. I hope that you enjoy this really quick tour. I focus more on the living spaces, which is what I've renovated so far, but hopefully later this year and on this channel, I'll document the renovation of my bedroom, bathroom, and closet. But in the meantime, leave any questions below. Hopefully I include enough details of what I did with all the links that I hope you enjoy. So you walk in, and I'm actually going to turn around so you can see where I came from. So that's the main entrance. And then here you have a closet. Pretty small closet, but it's great for extra storage. So I put my extra coats in there. I have a whole bunch of scarves that eventually I do want to move and get half of this closet back. Extra trainers or sneakers, I should say, there. Cleaning stuff, and then these plastic drawers have all of my DIY stuff, light bulbs, extra toiletries, things like that. And then what I love is this top shelf is pretty high. So if I scooch down, you can see that it goes pretty high up there, which is great because I can put extra yoga mats and things that are taller that kind of extend there as well. So that's really nice. So filled it to the brim, but it's a nice extra bit of storage to have here. And then on this side, I have a coat rack. I saw this all over TikTok, but then ended up buying it on Amazon. So there are two side by side, and basically every two spoke kind of comes out, and that's where you hang your coats and bags. So I like that. It's easy for guests, all the coats that I'm using at the moment. And then here, just some artwork, which is where I'm from originally, Uganda. Although I grew up in the UK and now live in DC, but I wanted to hang those here. And then I absolutely love this mirror. This mirror I got, I think, from West Elm, but the shells, these are coconut shells that have been shaved and added individually all around. So I really love this mirror. So now you walk right into the kitchen, and then the living space, which I all had painted white. So before, the living and dining area was like this beige color, this neutral beige color. And then the kitchen was just turquoise, which I realized was a mistake. I loved the color at the time, but what happens is you get tired of seeing the same color, especially since I've been working at home now for 5 years. Since pre-pandemic, I've been working at home. So I was looking at that turquoise color every day. So I decided when I did this reno, I wanted to make it as neutral as possible, the walls as neutral as possible. Any big pieces of furniture should be neutral, the backsplash, the countertop, and then I can go crazy adding color with the accessories. So I had to be really disciplined when choosing colors, but I think I did that. So if we go through here, you can see the white walls. I think it's ultra pure white is the color. So the ceiling, the wall, and even the baseboards and trim and everything are the same white color, just different finishes. And then I went to Tile Bar for the backsplash. I can't remember the name of it, but I will put the names of everything on the screen. And I love these tiles because they have this iridescent kind of shimmer to them and they catch the light. And I think each tile is a slightly different color, which is pretty cool. It is a white tile, but it kind of looks gray, I guess, against the whiteness of the wall. And then the countertops are quartz. And I believe this style of countertop is called Calcutta. It's white with the gray vein over it, which I absolutely love. And then the cabinets I just had repainted, so they're not new. The original cabinets were this color that's actually inside. And so what I did was I had contractors come in, take the doors down, sand them, prime them, and then repaint them with a special cabinet paint. And it's actually gray. I don't know if you can see that, but I don't know if some people mistake it for white, but it is a gray color with like blue undertones. I wanted it to be slightly different from the wall. Maybe now in retrospect, I would go a darker, just a slightly darker gray to distinguish it from the white, but I still really like it. And then the hardware for the handles is from Wayfair. All the appliances are brand new. Most of them are GE, but I did want a French door style fridge. And so French doors, basically when you have the two doors, and Frigidaire, Frigidaire. I don't know how you pronounce this, guys. How do you pronounce this? Anyway, they were the only brand that I could find a French door fridge that was compact enough for this space, because apparently most French door fridges are quite big. And so I opted to not go with GE, which were where my previous appliances were from, and they lasted 10 plus years. So I did want to go with GE again because they've been such a reliable brand, but I did just love the style of this fridge. So I'm hoping this is a good brand. To be honest, the reviews were kind of mixed online, but I went with the risk. So that's what the inside looks like. So you've got the fridge at the top, and then the drawer style freezer at the bottom with like 3 drawers and an ice maker. So I really like it. So far so good. It's only been like 3 months though. The floors were all redone as well. I had done wooden floors before, but they were the smaller, thinner style of wooden floor that was in like 10 years ago. This is engineered wood. I can only have engineered wood because in this building it's concrete underneath. So you have to glue the wood down. You can't nail wood down into concrete, and real wood, I believe, is nailed down. But I love this. I mean, this looks like real wood, and I love the wider style plank. So that's great. One other detail that I did too was changing out these light switch, I don't know what you call them, panels, to gold, just to give a little bit of a pop, which I really like. Oh, one other thing I should point out too is I rearranged the stuff that I put on the countertop to things that I only really use often. Before it was kind of cluttered, and I made sure that all my appliances are actually tucked away in this corner, and underneath here I have like toaster and other appliances that I can just pull out and put here out of sight when I'm using them, and then put them back. So I just rearranged where things are, but I really like just how much counter space I have in general. It's just really, really helpful, really, really useful. Let's move into the living space. So I actually decided to go for a really big, really comfy couch. Before I had a sofa bed, I think it was from Macy's, and it wasn't that comfortable. It wasn't uncomfortable, but it wasn't that comfortable. But it was great because this is only a 1 bedroom. So when I have people visit, and I do have a lot of guests, you know, I could pull it out. But then when it was just me, it wasn't the most comfortable. So this time I decided I'm gonna get a really big couch. This is from Joybird, and I can reconfigure it in lots of different ways. I love at night, I pull that table out and I push the ottoman in and kind of create this really big, cozy bed. And with the mood lighting I have, it's really, really nice at night to watch movies and finish up work and stuff. And so I just love it. Like, people can still sleep on it when they come over, but then when I'm using it most of the time, it's really relaxing. And I'm actually surprised that I could get as big a couch into the space. I was worried that it would be too overwhelming and take up too much space, but I actually think it's been perfect and I'm used to it now. I think when I first put it in, I was like, oh my God, it's so big, but now it's great. The only downside to it is it doesn't have storage underneath. I'm going to do a full Joybird review because when I was looking for a couch, and it took me forever to find a couch that would fit this space, I couldn't find any good reviews of Joybird. They were very mixed. They're a bit savage over there on their in the comments in their Instagram, but I had a good experience. So I will do another video reviewing the couch fully. Since I don't have a overhead light here, which I don't know, can someone explain why in America condos and apartments don't have overhead lights in most rooms or some other rooms? But in any case, I used lamps and rechargeable lights to create a really cool ambience. So I really like actually the way it feels at night, and it gives me lots of options for how bright I want the space to be. When I really want bright light at night, these lights over here in the kitchen and like in the little entryway are pretty bright. So I do get lots of night light, but it would be helpful, I guess, to have the option to have a light above. I just didn't add one. This rug I really like, and so this is where I go crazy with color. As you can see, the rug is from West Elm, and then most of the cushions are from West Elm. A couple are from Etsy, Pottery Barn, where else? Crate and Barrel. All the artwork, or the framed artwork, I should say, is from Minted. That's probably one of the biggest expenses along with the couch. But this time I was like, I'm a big girl. I'm gonna go for the things I really like. And I just figured with furniture, you can take that with you. So the furniture I did spend more on than the actual Reno, which is crazy. That's a fake plant there in the corner. I didn't want to have a real hanging plant that I'm watering over my couch. And I was always worried about the weight. So I just decided for a fake one there. But I do have a real plant in that corner. And then a couple of real plants all over. And then this table is from Joss and Marin, I believe. And I love it because it's actually a side table, but it was small enough. I wanted something small to fit in this little space. And then I just put extra blankets, extra sheets and bedding in there. When I have guests over, they kind of grab the sheets from there. So I love the storage that it has. But it is an end table, but it fits perfectly. And then over here, I have a basket with all my blankets. And then these two nesting tables, which I originally saw on West Elm and I loved them, but they were too expensive. And so then I went and found pretty much dupes, copies that were on Wayfair for way cheaper. And then I'm using this stationary pot for my remote controls, which is pretty fun. This art piece is from Etsy, and I think it's Mexican. I think they call them macrames. They're really popular right now. But I just love this. And they made it to design, like you order it and they custom make it. So really love that. And then this corner is my dining room / office, I guess. So really cool story. This table I've been eyeing. It's originally from World Market. And it retails for about $700, probably $800 with shipping and tax. But I didn't want to spend that. So I was looking for alternatives and I was about to buy an alternative that I didn't like as much. But I was like, let me just check. A little voice in my head said, go ahead and check and see if you can find the table that you want from World Market. Maybe you can find it on one of these second-hand stores or online sites like Facebook Market or what's the other one, Craigslist. So I actually went on Craigslist, searched for the name, and that morning, I kid you not, someone 10 minutes away from me was listing the exact table I wanted. So I went and picked it up with a TaskRabbit. I only paid like $250, which I think is a steal. And it's in really good condition. And this table is a little bit smaller. So because I went so big with the couch, I tried to make the proportions of this dining table smaller than the one I had. The one I had before was from IKEA and it was round, but it was a lot bigger. So I was trying to compensate. And then I was like, I don't need to get a dining set that matches. I can buy everything individually. So these two pink chairs came from Amazon. Well, all the chairs came from Amazon, but the two pink chairs came together. Then the ottoman is a dupe from the very popular Target one, but I found it cheaper on Amazon. And then that bench is also from Amazon. And inside there are all of my extra workout things. So it's really nice storage. One thing too that I wanted to do with the renovation is make sure that the furniture is lower. So in my previous apartment, I had the sofa bed and then I had an extra chair here that was quite high. And when I was sitting down, it kind of cut off the room and almost blocked my view outside. And then my dining tables had higher backs. So they would fade actually in the sun. The fabric of those chairs would fade in the sun. And then again, they were blocking the view. So I wanted to make sure that you can see all the chairs are lower. So they're not going to get as much sun damage, hopefully. And then the line of sight is so much clearer. And then having this lower one deliberately on this side just opens up this entire space. Sometimes I work out in this space here or right in front of the TV here as well. And that's partially, actually, I haven't spoken about this. This is why I put the mirror in this position, because sometimes I will put a clean towel on this countertop and do my stretches, or I can look at my form in front of this mirror. So that's really convenient. Also, having a big mirror kind of opens up the space. And then I love this media console, which is very popular. Got it from West Elm, another big indulgence, but I love all the storage, and I love that it matches the floors, and it also matches the side table. So I had to get it. This built-in bookshelf came with the apartment, which I'm so lucky. This left side is actually pretty deep. So behind the books, there's more storage. So I really, really love having all my books here. So that's nice. And then lastly, this corner is my little bar cart. I didn't have one before, but I wanted one. They're so cute. So I have all the little accessories and stuff. Maybe I'll do another video specifically outlining how I styled my bar cart if you're interested. But the bar cart itself I got from West Elm. And so that's this side of the apartment. I really wanted it to be light and airy. Like I said, I work from home, so I wanted to feel energized. I get lots of light in the morning coming in. And then even when I entertain, I wanted it to feel nice and warm. At night, the white walls, I was worried that they might be too clinical, but I really like this type of white. And actually at night, they bounce off the light of the lamps and it feels really warm in here. So that I love as well. The impetus for me even doing the renovation in the first place was because I had so much damage in that corner, which actually went all the way down to the floor. But basically the outside window, I guess the sealant on the outside of the window was compromised, and that was causing rainwater to come in and damage the floor. Oh, there's the Capitol. Say hi to the Capitol. And so I had people investigate in the building. They had to literally abseil down the side of the building to discover that the sealant, I guess, that goes around the perimeter of the window was leaking or broken. And that was what was causing the damage. And so I was really fortunate. The building actually ended up paying for the floors to be done. And I said, well, since they're going to pay for the floors on this half of the apartment, let me go ahead and redo everything. So that was it. And then when you go into, I'm not going to do too much of a deep dive on the other half of my apartment because actually I'm still renovating that side, but I will just give you a sneak peek. But I wanted this side to be completely different colors, almost like you're going into a whole other apartment, since my apartment is only 620 square feet, which I think is about 58 square meters. So let's talk about that. Okay, so you walk in and it's immediately my walk-in closet, which I don't love. I don't love that when I have guests, they have to walk through my closet in order to get to the bathroom. It's not the best, but it is what it is. I put in these shelves for my shoes and accessories that didn't exist before. And then also on this side, the shelf at the top didn't exist. So I put my hats and bags there. I am thinking about removing that jewelry rack or I don't know what to call it. But that corner will become more shelves, I think, because I am running out of space. I definitely have to do the swap. So actually right now I'm in the middle of swapping my spring summer clothes into winter fall, which you kind of have to do if you live in an apartment. So I absolutely love this wall color. It's a purple. I know that in a small bedroom or a small space, you're supposed to paint it a lighter color to make it feel bigger, but I actually like that it's a dark color. And when I come into this side of my condo, it feels like I'm decompressing because I'm gonna sleep. And really I only sleep in here, so I don't need it to be super bright. I continued the floors from the other room. Before, this was carpet, so this half of the apartment was carpet, but I decided to extend the hardwood floors when I did the renovation. And I actually, going back to this wall color, I deliberately went with a flat finish, which I know you're not supposed to do. I think with walls you're supposed to do eggshell, so it's easy to wipe when you scuff them inevitably. But because I don't spend that much time here and there's not much traffic, I went with the flat finish, which I love. I just love the texture of flat paint. So, and then the lack of sheen. So I went against the rules there, but I really like it. One other thing with the colors here, as you know, I love color. I wanted each room in this space to pick colors from the previous room. So this is purple, but it has bits of fuchsia in it that hint to the color in the next space. So the walk-in closet is fuchsia, which I love. And then you've got pieces of fuchsia and purple in the bathroom as well. And likewise, when you look back, you see the colors kind of picking up on each other. I do think I want to repaint this closet so it's not a bright pink. I'm really loving that sulking room pink color that everybody loves, so I may tone it down a bit. And then I want to completely redo the bathroom. It's not the biggest bathroom in the world, but it gets the job done. Got my bathtub here. And my toilet, and then the sink and vanity. So it's not huge, but I think I could make better use of the space. I may take out the bathtub altogether and just have a shower, since I rarely ever use the bathtub. And so that is it. Pretty simple, but I love it. Thank you for joining.